Am I the a-hole for never telling my mother I married into money? I, 34 female, have a difficult relationship with my mother. She had me when she was 17 and was addicted to various substances when I was growing up. She'd leave me with whoever would watch me for days on end, and I'd end up mostly raising myself. I left home at 16 and couch surfed with various friends until I was able to get my own place. At 25, I met my now husband and we got married 3 years later. His family is the polar opposite of mine and are incredible, so loving and warm. I honestly consider his parents mine and call them mom and dad. They also happen to be quite well off, but that isn't something I care about. I mention it because it matters to the story. Last year, my mother reached out to me after a decade of not speaking to her, wanting to reconnect and introduce me to my little sister who was 2 years old. I was confused as I hadn't even known she'd been pregnant, but it seems she'd been a change of life baby. I thought maybe she'd turned over a new leaf, and if not, I wanted to make sure the kid was okay. At first, it seemed like things had changed and she was trying. This illusion lasted for the first few visits over 6 months. Then she broke down, told me she couldn't do this, and asked me to take my sister. My husband and I had a long talk about it. We'd been struggling with fertility and had been considering adoption anyway. We told her if we were doing this, we were doing it right, and we had his family's lawyer ensure it was a legal adoption and airtight, which took several months. My in-laws adore her and consider her their granddaughter. They've even set up a trust fund for her. We have allowed my mother 1 supervised visit per month, so she's not totally cut off from my sister. But it was during these visits, things went badly as she saw how she was dressed and the toys she had, and realized they were expensive. She began to rip into us for hiding the fact we have money, and how if we'd just given her money, she'd have not given us my sister as she could have taken care of her better. I told her while we have some money, it's mostly my husband's parents' money, not ours, so she had no right to know about it. Also that I wouldn't have given her money anyway as I didn't trust her. She broke down, calling me a selfish bitch who'd never considered how hard things were for her. I now feel some guilt. My husband has told me if I want to make me feel better, he'll give her money. But that seems like a bad idea, as she'd likely use it badly or blow through it, then expect more. Despite this, though, I do feel bad. Maybe I should have tried to help her more, now my luck is better. Or maybe I should have been honest with her. Am I the a-hole for keeping this from her?
Not the a-hole. If hubby wants to pay for something, it can be a treatment program for mom to get the help she needs. But you are definitely not the a-hole. Mom is trying to manipulate.
I tried many times to try to get her to get clean over the years before I cut off contact. She had no interest, and I don't think that has changed at all if I thought that she'd even consider it. I'd be having him do that if he truly wants to spend money on her.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It will shut down her whining pretty quickly, though, if that's all you're willing to pay for.
Don't give her a penny. She'll come back for more, and you know she will deep down.
Yeah, I do. I want to help her despite how she was with me growing up, but I know that's not the right way to go about it. Just this has brought up a lot of old feelings I thought long gone and guilt.
Your mom doesn't want the money so she can take care of your sister. She just realized she lost her chance at a free meal ticket before she gave her up for adoption.
Not the a-hole. And now just stop it. You are dealing with an addict, whose reaction isn't my daughter is safe and being raised in a healthy environment, but is saying, you could have given me money and helped me. She realized she misplayed her hand with you. She reached out to you to pawn off her responsibilities to her child, not to reconnect. She was going to do it if you had money or not. She got off the gravy train too early and regrets it. Focus on your family and happiness. She'll bleed you dry. I'm sorry and hope I'm wrong, but I've seen and lived this.
Not the a-hole. Doing the math, your mom had a second baby at age 49, and she's now 53. She's more than old enough to have figured out how to support herself. Let her continue to take care of herself and focus on your daughter. If you do feel worried about your mom's future, you could set aside money in an account. Don't tell her you're doing this, for when she's elderly and may be unable to support herself any longer. That would be the time to consider helping her.
Am I the a-hole for offering my kid's nanny more money hours so she won't work for my sister-in-law? My husband and I have 3 kids, 10-month female, 4 male, 10 female. We currently have a nanny, Isabel, 22 female, 3 days a week. I have to say, Isabel is fucking amazing. She drives on field trips, she does homework with the kids, she handles play dates. She's the one adult my 10-year-old likes. She's not dependent on screens, does art projects with the kids, she speaks 10-year-old, and she's even teaching them how to cook and bake. They made mini quiches a few weeks ago. My oldest is doing state testing right now and wanted a fun activity with her friends. Isabel suggested a spa day, and my daughter loved it. I set up a day for my 4-year-old to go home with his grandparents and let Isabel turn our living room into a spa. She picked up my daughter, my niece, and 2 friends, brought them to our house, and did their hair and nails while they lay back and did face masks. I guess my niece was telling her mom how cool Isabel is because my sister-in-law texted Isabel offering her a nanny position 4 days a week, matching whatever I pay her, but for only 1 kid. Isabel showed me the text and told me that she will have to think about it because the extra money would be nice. I told her if she promised to stay next year, I'd have her at 5 days a week with a $5 per hour raise. Isabel turned my sister-in-law down, saying she had received a better offer, and now she's telling my husband's family that I stole a nanny from her. They're upset that I outbid my sister-in-law and gave Isabel extra money and hours just so my sister-in-law wouldn't get her. My husband said it was petty. Am I the a-hole for offering Isabel a raise and more hours so she doesn't work for my sister-in-law?
Not the a-hole. Every parent knows that a good babysitter or nanny is worth their weight in gold. Your sister-in-law is the a-hole for trying to poach your nanny, and you fighting to keep her should be expected. It's rich that your sister-in-law is accusing you of stealing a nanny when she tried to do the exact same thing. Edit. Just make sure you follow through with the promised raise, etc. Edit 2. And if your husband has such an issue with it, tell him he's responsible next time you need a new nanny sitter. He can do all the interviewing and contacting references and background checks and negotiations for pay. It's not so easy as find a new nanny. Your sister-in-law knows this and tried to circumvent the process.
Not the a-hole, but make sure you're paying her what she's worth. Without her getting another offer, she should be given raises yearly and bonuses for going above and beyond. She wasn't wrong to consider a better offer, although it's really shitty of sister-in-law to try and poach your nanny so she's the a-hole.
No. What's petty about that? Your sister-in-law tried to steal your nanny out from under you, which was sneaky, and you outbid her in order to retain your nanny services. It was up to your nanny which was the better deal. You like your nanny and are willing to pay for her services. That's just good sense, as long as you can afford it, not the a-hole.
Yeah, this was what I was thinking while reading the post. Sister-in-law is the one who tried to steal the nanny, not OP. And the husband calling OP petty is also pretty out of line.
Wait, so no one is outraged that your sister-in-law tried to steal your nanny? You know the one who has been working for you apparently quite some time? Tell them to all go pound sand.
Not the a-hole. Your sister-in-law tried to steal your nanny. Your sister-in-law could have come to you, and the 2 of you could have approached Isabel about caring for all 4 kids with you and sister-in-law splitting Isabel's pay. However, your sister-in-law chose to attempt to poach your nanny, which is borderline unforgivable and now has the nerve to play the victim. Your sister-in-law is the petty one. She can pound sand.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos.